Hi, Zionsville Employee Nation. Scott here. Wanted to give you a brief video today, and I have the nucleus of the coronavirus task force with me because this message, this 2 minutes today, is about the coronavirus. The governor spoke today. The governor was emphatic that we have to follow the orange plan because that's what our county is in. And so grades 5 through 12, starting next Monday, will have to go back to a hybrid schedule. Chris, you want to talk about that for a second?
Sure. If teachers will remember well, because you did it so extremely well back in the first 34 days of school, where we had two cohorts of kids, cohort A and cohort B, who alternated when they were actually in person at school. And on the days they weren't in person, they were online accessing curriculum. And so that is what we're going to go back to. You've done a fabulous job of in person for those students who have chosen in person, and for those who've had to quarantine and go, or who've chosen remotely. It's been amazing the amount of work you've been able to do the last 28 days. It'll be 30 days on Friday. So we've done about half and half this school year, but because of the surge and Governor Holcomb's press conference, we are going to go back to hybrid, and details about what that will look like will be coming to you shortly.
Great, thanks, Chris. And also, please note that we haven't gotten any interpretation about elementary other than what was in the original plan with ISDH. So we're of the mind that that means we continue, and we'll continue to provide supports when you have, kids who are quarantined and that sort of thing. We just saw that happen so much in recent days, and Becky's going to talk about that in a minute. And so really, we heard you, we heard through teacher voice, through our principals and so on, about the anxiety of not knowing which kid is going to show up or who's going to get called during the class. And it just had to be such a disarraying, sort of disruptive force. And I so appreciate the way you handled it so professionally. So actually, Becky's going to talk about some of the numbers that we're mounting anyway.
Yes. So Scott, as of this morning, when we ran our information, we had 981 who could not be on campus today. And that includes employees as well as all of our students. Of course, many of those are quarantines, but I do want to note that today, this morning, we had 43 active positives across our students as well as our employees. There were 35 student positives, and that's starting the day before really the attendance line began ringing at each of the buildings. And so I just recognize that that is a number that continues to increase. And of course, Scott alluded to that anxiety that's caused by that, but I want to say thank you for everyone to be really responsive as we've made calls and needing seating charts and asking about small groups, because all of that work is so very exhausting, and our teams across the schools have been at it 24/7 for weeks now. But that is helping minimize the spread, because we continue to see not a lot of follow-on positives in the building, but it's more so we have a lot of positive parents, a lot of activity from youth sports and travel sports and other affiliations that are occurring out in the community. So that's where we are right now, and we'll continue to monitor and be responsive to new guidance that we expect will continue to come out in the days ahead.
Thank you, folks, very much for your professionalism and your constancy during this time. We're still in this pandemic. I know that a lot of you are working on extracurricular activities and performances and so on. There was some guidance spoken to today on the press conference about that, and we will get that information to you as soon as possible as well. COVID keeps punching, and we can handle it. We've got this. Thank you for all you do.